Hello guys, I gave an interview in a company called Bizionic Technology and Marketing Solution, and the location is Hyderabad, and the interview date was the May 28, 2025. So this was the second round of the interview. First round already I have given. So they asked me what Laravel version we are using or what is the latest Laravel version. So I said Laravel 12. Ensure your system is running PHP 8.2 or higher. What new feature came in the latest Laravel version? They asked me. So new starter kits like replace Bridge and Jetstream, modern front end with React Vue or Livewire, built with the Tailwind CSS plus TypeScript. Cleaner project structure, better commands like create model migration control in one command. Example PHP artisan make colon all post. Smarter queries, easier handling of complex queries with the nested where, more readable and efficient database. Stronger security, new secure validate for better password and input security, improve API support, easier API versioning, custom rates limit per user IP etc. Better API docs, Postman, Swagger, faster testing and debugging, eloquent ORM boost, queue and job improvements, DevOps friendly, artisan upgrades. Okay, so same thing, you have a requirement of PHP 8.2 and Laravel 12 for the better or stable developer friendly update. Next question they ask me, what are the get, post, put, patch, delete requests? So I said a get request is one of the most commonly used HTTP method used to retrieve data from a server via an API, that is application programming interface. When a client like Postman, a browser or a front-end application sends a GET request to an API endpoint, it asks the user to return specific resources or information such as user details, product lists, or setting. GET requests are read-only operations and do not modify any data on the server. Post request. Post request is used to send data to an API to create something new on the server. For example, you use post to add a new user, submit a form, or upload a file. Put request. A put request is used to update existing data on the server. It usually replaces the entire resource with new data. Patch request. A patch request is based to partially update existing data on the server. Unlike put, it only changes the specific fields you send. Delete request. A delete request is used to remove data from the server. It deletes a specific resource like a user or a record permanently. Another question they ask me, what are the data types in PHP? So PHP supports 8 primary data types which are categorized in scalar, compound and special types. So integer. So first of all, scalar types. Okay. So first of all, scalar type. So integer, float, string, boolean. Command types. Command types. Array, object, special types, null and resource. What is resource? A special type holding a reference to an external resource like a database collection or file handler. Example, $handler equal to f open file txt and r. What is null? A null variable with no value assigned or explicitly set to null. So there are 8 data types in PHP: integer, float, string, boolean, array, object, null and resource. So PHP is loosely typed, so variable do not require explicitly data type declaration. Use get type to check a variable data type. Use where dump for detailed info including type and value. What are the differences between PHP 7 and PHP 8? They asked me. So PHP 7 is fast, but PHP 8 is faster because of the JIT engine, just in time compiler. Named argument in PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. Match expression PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. Null safe operator PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. Attribute annotation PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. Union type string in PHP 7, PHP 8 no. Constructor promotion PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. str content etc. PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. JIT compiler PHP 7 no, PHP 8 yes. Old functions still available in PHP 7, PHP 8 some removed or changed. So they asked me what is the JIT. So JIT stands for just in time compiler. Instead of running PHP code line by line like usual, JIT compiles part of the code into machine level instruction just before they are needed, making it run faster, especially for a complex or repeated task. Okay. So, so let us suppose you have created a prime number program in PHP and you have used $start micro time true and end equal to micro time true. And if you get the difference, so PHP 7.4 approximately it will take 1.8 seconds to run this code. PHP 8 no JIT it will take 1.7 seconds approximately. And PHP 8 with JIT it will take 1.1 seconds to run this code. Okay, so JIT can improve performance especially for CPU heavy loops or calculation. It's not a big boost for typical website tasks like rendering HTML, but great for the data processing. So how can you enable the JIT? So open the php.ini file. Inside that opcache enable 1, opcache enable CLI1, opcache JIT buffer size 100 M, opcache JIT equal to 1250. So what are the new features in PHP 8? JIT, union types, name argument, match expression, null safe operators. Okay, you can null safe operator means avoid null error when chaining calls like the user profile email. Then attributes, constructor property, promotions, new string function like str content, str start, str end with static return type, weak maps, improve error handling. They asked me, can you what are the some common Linux command you use? So like the lslcd, home username, pwd, mkdir, rm, file.txt, rm-r old folder, which will delete a directory as also its contents, cp, mv, touch new file, which will create a new empty file, find home name, *log, find all .log files, state file.txt, display detailed information about file.txt, cat file.txt, display the content of file.txt, less file.txt, view file.txt one page at a time, more file.txt, same as less but older version, head and 10 file.txt show the first 20 line of the file.txt, tail and 20 file.txt show the last 20 lines of the file.txt, nano file.txt open file.txt in the nano editor, vim file.txt open file.txt in the vim editor. Permission and ownership in Linux command chmod 755 script.sh set read write execute the for owner, read execute for other, chown user group file.txt change owner and group of file. Okay, system information user uname -a show all system information, top show running processes and system uses, free -h display memory usage in human readable format, df -h show disk usage of all mounted file systems. Uptime, show how long the system has been running. Who am I? Print the current logged in user. Process and package management. PSAUX display all running processes. Kill 1234. Kill process with PID 1234. Sudo apt update. Sudo apt install. Sudo yum install httpd. Install httpd. Sudo dnf install git or Fedora. Networking, ping google.php, curl http or the entire website, wgt and url, download the file user, wget in config, show network interface info, order tool, IPA, show IP address and interface, newer tool, netstate tulnp, show active ports and listening processes, SSH user @192.168.1.10, connect to a remote server via SSH. For the compression, tar cgh archive.tar.gj folder, it will compress into the archive.tar.gz, tar xyz archive tar.gj, extract archive.tar.gz, zip archive.zip, file1 txt, file2 txt, create the zip archive of two files, unzip archive.zip, extract a zip file. Scripting and animation and automation. So cron tab E, edit current user schedule cron job, bash script.sh, execute a shell script alias l lsl, create a shortcut alias for ls hyphen la. Okay. Another question they ask me, what is the git fetch and git pull? So download, first of all, git fetch. Download commits, files and reference from a remote repository but does not merge or modify your local branch. Use when you want to see what others have pushed without affecting your local work. Example, git fetch origin. Effect, update origin main but your local main stay unchanged. Git pull, what it does, combine git fetch plus git merge or git rebash depending on settings. It downloads changes and immediately merge them into your current branch. Use when you want to update your local branch with the changes from remote. Example, git pull origin main. Effect, fetches and merges origin main into your current main. So summary, git fetch, download changes, yes. Update, no. Risk of merge or conflict, no. Git pull, download change, yes. Update local branch, yes. Risk of merge conflict, yes. So if you are working in a team or want to inspect changes first, use git fetch, git diff origin main. Another question they asked me, how will you handle 3 bits in the same time technically? So actually I was working with the government marketplace. So they asked me this question because we were using their bits and all. So handling 3 bits simultaneously on Jam portal from a technical perspective involved ensuring synchronization, concurrency handling and data integrity. Here, how it can be handled technically. Stateless, okay, if you have the concurrent bits, so stateless microservices, use stateless services to independently process each bit request. This make it easier to scale and handle multiple bits simultaneously. Load balancer, request bits from different vendor can be routed via load balancer like Nginx or AWS ELB to backend server for parallel processing. Second, database concurrency management, ACID transaction, wrap each bit submission in a database transaction to maintain atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. How? Okay, so B, row level locking. When multiple vendors are bidding on the same item, use row level locking to prevent a race condition. So example, start transaction, select staff from bid where item ID is this. For update, perform validation and insert new row and then commit. Queuing and asynchronous process. If traffic is heavy, use message queue like the RabbitMQ, Kafka or SQS. Each bit goes into a queue and is processed in order by the background worker. Data validation and conflict detection. Validate the timestamp to ensure all three bits are within active bidding window. Reject if the bid window is closed or a duplicate bid is detected. Test scenario. Simulate the submission of three bits using the concurrent test case or tools like the JMeter, Postman or even PHP thread curl. Calls to verify race condition and locking behavior. Okay. So example flow for 3 bits vendor ABC submit bits at the same time request or reach backend through load balancer. Each request hits the bidding microservices microservices. Look the item rows in database, validate and store the bit. After successful bit storage, confirmation is sent. Final bits are ranked and timestamped for audit and transparency. Another question they ask me, what is the difference between authentication and authorization? So authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user. It checks who the user is. Step for authentication, a user login. A user provides their credential, username and password. Verification, the system checks if the provided credential match stored credential in a database of a third-party authentication service. Token generation, optional. Upon successful login, a system may generate a token, example JWT, to maintain the session and the facility API access. Example, a user log in using their username and password. The system verifies the credential and grants access if the information is correct. Okay. In Laravel, auth double colon attempt email request email password request password. Now comes to the authorization. Authorization is the process of determining what the user can do after they are authenticate. It controls the permission and access level assigned to the user. Step for authentication. Permission check. After authentication, the system checks if the authenticated user has permission to perform a specific action. Example, view a page, modify a resource, etc. Roles and permission. In many system roles, admin, editor, user define which action are allowed. Permission specify the specific actions. Example, create, delete, edit, then that a user can perform. For example, a user may be authenticated, but they might only be authorized to view their own profile but not user profile. A manager role may allow the editor post while a guest role may only allow viewing. So if auth double colon user can edit post perform the action. So if I can create a table for the authentication and authorization. So authentication verify who the user is. Authorization determines what the user can do. Authentication identify login credentials and authorization permissions roles and ability. Authentication ensures that the user is who they claim to be. Authentication ensures the user has the right to access resource or perform actions. Authentication uses logging in with the username password. Authorization user being assigned role for like admin, editor, etc. So practical use in typical web app, authentication would occur first, login in, and authorization would follow to ensure that the authenticated user has the correct permission to access specific resources. Okay. Next question they asked me, if you want to add a new role, student, where will you make changes? So first of all, database. Add the student role to the roles table on or table or enum. User model. Ensure role check include student. Policies gate. Define permission for student role. Middleware if used. Handle routing authorization by role. Front end. Adjust UI to reflect new role. They ask me what is AJAX and what data do we pass in it. So AJAX stands for the asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a technique used in web development to send and receive data from a server asynchronously without reloading the entire web page. So key feature of Ajax, it uses JavaScript to send HTTP requests, works with the XML HTTP request or modern fetch API, allows dynamic update of web content, often used with the JSON instead of the XML. What data do we pass in Ajax? So you can pass different type of data with the Ajax request depending on the needs. So let us suppose, so yeah, so in the data type is JSON. So commonly used format is $.ajax, and then we pass URL method data, content type success, and console.log response. If data type is form data, then we pass URL method data, that is username, email, success, and console.log. If data type is form data object for files used to upload files via Ajax, then where form data equal to new form data dot append profile image, and then dollar file 0 and file 1. So what will be pass in the Ajax? URL method data, process data, content type, success, and console.log. If query parameter, that is get method, then we'll pass URL and then query string, then method, success, and console. So summary is URL server endpoint example API serve, method HTTP method get post put etc. Data sent to the server JSON form, fields etc. Content type of the data being sent, application JSON etc. Success callback function on successful response, error callback or request failure. Next question they ask me, how do you perform a join across three tables? So to perform a join across three tables, you can use a SQL clause. You can use SQL clauses to combine data based on related column between the tables. Let's say we have three tables: students, courses, and enrollment. We want to get student name with their enrollment course name. So SQL join query across three tables. Select student name as student name, course name as course name. From students, join enrollment on student ID equal to enrollments dot student ID. Join courses on enrollment dot course ID equal to course ID. So how it works? Student table, base table, enrollments, join using the student dot ID equal to enrollment dot student ID. Courses, join using enrollment dot course ID equal to course ID. Note, always join on foreign key relationships. You can use inner join, left join, right join depending on the requirement. Use as to give alias for readability. Example, select s dot name as student name, okay, s dot name and student name, c dot name as course name. From student s, join enrollment e on s dot id equal to e dot student id. Join courses c on e course id equal to c dot id. Another question they ask me, which is faster, inner join or left join? So inner join is generally faster than left join. Why? Inner join only return matching rows. It filters the result to only rows with the matches in both tables. The database engine does less work because it doesn't need to check for and include unmatched rows. Left join returns all rows from the left table. It includes all rows from the left table even if there is no match in the right table. For unmatched row, it fills in the nulls from the right table. The database must check every row from the left and add nulls to the right for the non-matching ones. So join type, result set, processing load and speed. Inner join, only matched rows, processing load, less work, speed faster. Join type, left join, result set, all left plus matched right, processing load, more work, speed slower. Okay. So inner join return only order that have a valid customer. Left join return all the order even if there is no customer. Guest checkout. Okay. If we have one order table, select star from order O, inner join customer C on O dot customer ID equal to CID. Left join select star from order O, left join customer C on O dot customer ID equal to CID. Inner join with only return that they have a valid customer. And left join return all the orders even if there is no customer guest checkout. So conclusion, use inner join if you only need matched data. It's faster and more efficient. Use left join only if you need unmatched data too, for reports, null checks, etc. How do you migrate project from one server to another? So, backup code and database, transfer files, import database, update configs and .env, install dependencies, set permissions, configure web servers, test thoroughly, update DNS if needed. The difference between put and patch request, he asked me the last question. A patch request is used to partially update existing data on a server. Unlike put, it only changes the specific field you send. Okay. So a patch request is used to partially update existing data on the server. Unlike put, it only changes the specific field you send. So these are the questions asked by the a company called Bizionic Technology and Marketing Solution. Location is Hyderabad and interview date was the May 28, 2025. And this was the second round of the interview. I will share more interview questions. Till then, bye.